Welcome to the new year. We got a new court so you can actually find the kitchen line.
Today we're bringing you 5 awesome tips for you to have better drops in 2023.
My name's Elisha.
I'm Justin.
Let's get into it.
Okay, before we get into it, be sure to stay tuned to the end where we've got an advanced tip for 4-0 players and above. A major thing to add when you're thinking about your drop this year is the timing. You want your timing to be good in 2 areas. The first area, we want to make sure we're thinking about timing the ball where you're hitting it. So we don't want the ball to be too low, we don't want the ball to be too early, but we want the ball to be at the peak when you're hitting it so that you can get under it, lift it up, and have it go over the net nicely. The second part of timing that we want to think about is with our paddle swing. So we don't want to take too big of a swing with the paddle because then it's tougher to time right where we hit the ball. What I want to do, I don't want to be back here. I want to be just out in front, and then I'm just swinging out and up. This is going to give the ball enough power forward and enough height to get over the net. This video was made possible by Engage Pickleball, but more on that later.
So this next tip when it comes to drop is footwork. When I'm at the kitchen line, right, I'm going to be minimizing my footwork because I'm so close and the shots are so simple. So I don't need to be in ideal position with my feet when it comes to hitting shot because I'm so close. So we talked about taking one step and then hitting that shot. But when I create a further distance when I'm hitting my drop, when I'm really far from the net and the ball's coming a great distance, I need to make sure that I'm moving my body in position and able to move forward into my shot to be able to create ideal contact. Because there's a lot more consequences for a drop than for just a dink. So you need to make sure that the contact is almost perfect. Part of how we do that is by getting our feet in position. I know that the footwork is very difficult for people who are a little bit older, but just do the best you can. Maybe even try to implement walking on a treadmill, walking outside, get your feet moving a little more. So even though you're not moving like Justin and I, you can still move a little bit more than you are now.
This next tip is on placement of the drop. We want to be thinking when we're aiming for a spot on the court, just about a foot in front of the kitchen line. This gives us enough space to get over the net, but it also is still staying low enough and in a tough enough position so your opponent across the net can't attack the ball too easily. But then also something we want to be thinking about when we're placing the ball is oftentimes looking at hitting it cross court, so it gives us more time to get the ball over the net. It's a further distance to that spot. And then also angles on the court. We want to be looking to create angles so we're not just hitting right at our opponent's feet straight in front of them, but we're hitting it off to the sidelines on both sides. And then aside from angles, hitting that middle spot to create confusion between your opponents. Let's hit pause real quick just to give you a second to hit that like button and leave a comment on which one of these tips you like the most.
I was just giving a lesson to a couple ladies, 50 plus, and they were really struggling with the concept of the drop. They were doing very quick motions and keeping the face very forward in their motion. This enabled the ball to pop up, go too far, and the opponents were able to hit the ball out of the air. They didn't realize that, hey, the face of the paddle controls the height of the ball. So what I asked them to do is just open the face of the paddle and honestly just move through like slow motion versus quick motions. A lot of times they were moving very quickly through the ball. Just slow up the speed like they're acting in slow motion and open the paddle big time. This slowed up their ball. They were able to get the ball high over the net and then it dropped inside that kitchen line. And they started doing it very consistently and effective. So next time you're out on the court and you're hitting those drops too deep, make sure that we try to open the paddle very wide open and then move through very soft, depending on obviously the speed of the ball coming at us.
All right, this last tip is for those who are advanced players, more 4-0 and above. One thing that you can do to improve your drop game this year is varying the pace of the shot that you're hitting. So mixing it up, hitting some a little bit harder, some a little bit softer, even mixing up the spins a little bit. This way your opponents have more of a difficult time reacting because it's not so predictable. They don't know what's coming, and you're going to have more success in getting easier balls to then put away. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks to our sponsor, Engage, for the support. If you do want a 20% discount on any Engage paddle, check out the description and the link below.